I think it's possible to like this ad and want to take a shower after this ad.
Everyone knows that Pete loves going on Fox.
Welcome to Political Experts React, where we break down political ads and media, explain what the people behind them are trying to accomplish, and decide whether or not they did a good job. I'm Dan Pfeiffer, former communications director to President Barack Obama, and joining me today is Lis Smith, senior advisor to Pete Buttigieg during his 2020 presidential campaign and author of the brand new memoir, Any Given Tuesday. Liz, welcome to Political Experts React.
Thanks for having me, Dan.
We're going to look at ads. I'm very excited to have you on. You are one of the Democratic Party's preeminent strategists, but you are also the author of our brand new book, Any Given Tuesday. She has been on a wild ride working for Barack Obama, Pete Buttigieg, a million other people. She's got great stories. Read the book. The other reason we want to have you on today is we talk a lot on this show and Crooked Media more broadly about Fox News, how Democrats should interact with it, how we should think about it, how we should defeat it. And you have been someone who has advocated for Democrats going on Fox News. You worked for Pete Buttigieg, who very famously used Fox News in many ways during his campaign. So we're gonna spend a little bit of time looking at some Fox content. First ad we're gonna watch is from Tim Ryan, a Democrat running for Senate in Ohio.
Congressman Ryan, you've been a jobs creator. You've been tough on China.
You on the stump and you talk bread and butter issues, economy, kitchen table issues.
Tim Ryan, somebody who is obviously pitching some of the more moderate ideas.
Watch, for example, what happened when Congressman Tim Ryan tried to remind his fellow Democrats that most Americans don't actually support open borders.
Well, that's right. You're very moderate.
Healthcare, bread and butter
you're
stuff.
hanging out in the middle like most of us are.
I'm Tim Ryan, and I approve this message.
I think it's possible to like this ad and want to take a shower after this ad.
When I first saw this ad, I was like, oh my God, this is brilliant. And I am someone who has worked in Ohio. I was on the Obama campaign, and you were working for Obama when Obama won by 1%. But since then, with the exception of Sherrod Brown, it has been a wasteland for Democrats. So I thought this was really, really strategically smart of Tim's campaign to do, because they understand that they can't do the traditional, just try to run up the Democratic vote in the 3 C's, which is, Ohio insider political speak for the 3 cities, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Columbus. You have to win over independents and Republicans. And the way to do that is to go on conservative media like Fox. And it was really brilliant to me that they did use all these hosts in their own words, saying that Tim has, moderate positions on immigration and trade and agrees with Trump on certain things. And that is what Tim is going to need to win this race, and especially in a really tough year like this. What do you think?
Tim Ryan has to win a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump in 16 and 20 to have a chance in this race. And the best way to do that is to take the most famous, most powerful members of the right-wing MAGA world testifying to his moderation. In 2020, some of the best ads that I saw tested were ones that included conservative criticism of Trump. There was an ad about they had footage of Tucker Carlson criticizing Trump's foreign policy that was very, very effective with the exact sort of voters that were Republican Trump voters who opened to Biden. Tim Ryan needs all of those voters, every single one of them. And so this is a very, very smart way of doing it. Do I like seeing Tucker Carlson on my TV? No. Is it good for Tim Ryan? Yes.
Yeah, and if we want to elect more Democratic senators, we have to ditch some of that moral purity here, right? Tim Ryan could not be more of a, beer drinking Union Hall type of Democrat, but they're going to throw the same old textbook at him, call him a socialist, try to link him with AOC and the squad. And this is a great way of deflecting it. And what I think is really, really smart about Tim's overall ad strategy is he's sort of turning the tropes on their heads, right? He's making J.D. Vance, the Republican, like the San Francisco liberal, and he's making himself the Fox News sort of candidate. And let's be clear, he's not endorsing insurrection. He's not endorsing, the most extreme positions on Fox. He's just having those voices say that he is a voice of moderation. And I think it is a powerful thing when he will need to win over, voters in Southeast Ohio and Northwest Ohio to be able to win this election.
Basically all you could ask for in a state like Ohio.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to watch a clip, which is a little longer than a typical ad, but it's of U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, Liz's former boss, on Fox News.
Your husband tweeted after Justice Brett Kavanaugh left a Washington restaurant due to protesters. The tweet reads, "Sounds like he just wanted some privacy to make his own dining decisions." Is that appropriate, sir?
Look, when public officials go into public life, we should expect two things. One, you should always be free from violence, harassment, and intimidation. And two, you're never going to be free from criticism or peaceful protest, people exercising their First Amendment rights. Okay. And that's what happened in this case. Remember, the justice never even came into contact with these protesters, reportedly didn't see or hear them. And these protesters are upset because a right, an important right, that the majority of Americans support was taken away.
Understood.
Not only the right to choose, by the way, but this justice was part of the process of stripping away the right to privacy. As long as I've been alive, settled case law in the United States has been that the Constitution protected a right to privacy, and that has now been thrown out the window by justices, including Justice Kavanaugh, who, as I recall, swore up and down in front of God and everyone, including the United States Congress, that they were going to leave settled case law alone. So yes, people are upset. They're going to exercise their First Amendment rights. And as long as that's peaceful, that's protected. Compare that, for example, to the reality that as a country, right now, we're reckoning with the fact that a mob summoned by the former president
All right, well, let me follow up, Mr.
violently
Secretary.
attacked the United States Capitol for the purpose of overthrowing the election and very nearly succeeded in preventing the peaceful transfer of power. But I think common sense can tell the difference.
Okay, first I have to stipulate, I'm not saying I watch a lot of Fox News, I certainly don't, but I've literally never seen that person interviewing Pete Buttigieg in my entire life. I'm not sure that's a real person.
I have never seen that person before either, and everyone knows that Pete loves going on Fox, right? He gets this pleasure out of it because, he's really good at doing Fox, and he's a competitive guy and it really gets to him. So it's if you're going to have him on Fox, come at him with maybe a little better talent than that. Chris Wallace would never have let him get away with that,
We all agree that Pete is excellent at being on Fox. Why is he better than other Democrats?
Tone-wise, I think he does well with the audience because he's not a yelly, screamy Democrat. He's someone who I think their audience can listen to. He sounds reasonable, even if he's saying things that they might not necessarily agree with. If you can master the art of communicating on Fox News, it can have this huge amplifying effect and get your message out much wider than that. And just like with that clip we saw there, I don't know how many people were watching Fox News Sunday that day. I know that clip has now gotten over 10 million, at least, views on Twitter and has been picked up in news outlets online and across the country and on other TV stations. You got to think of it as reaching a broader audience, only if you can do it well.
I'll be honest with you people. Most of the time when I do this very sad, pitiful, smash the subscribe button thing, I ad-lib. Yes, Elijah and Ben write things for me, but generally I ignore them. Let me tell you why. I'm now going to read you the copy they sent me for today's ad. You might be thinking to yourself, Dan, does asking people to subscribe actually work? Well, good news. Over 300,000 people have heard the message, but a large percentage of you still aren't subscribed. Why is that? It makes me really upset. Genuinely, I am genuinely upset. So please smash the subscribe button. What am I supposed to do with that, people? Take some pity on me. I can't ad-lib every week. Smash the subscribe button. The next ad we're going to watch is from a Republican super PAC named One Nation.
Meantime, here in Nevada, we appear to have one of the highest inflation rates in the country.
Soaring prices for gas, food, housing, and construction supplies continue to hammer Nevadans.
Senator Catherine Cortez Mastro was the deciding vote for President Biden's multi-trillion-dollar spending spree, sending inflation through the roof and raising gas and grocery prices over 8% on hardworking Nevadans. Tell Senator Cortez Mastro to stop voting for reckless spending and start fighting inflation.
What do you think about this ad, and what would you tell a Democrat facing an ad like this how to respond?
The message of the ad, I think, is broadly effective. We know that inflation is the number one issue facing voters right now, but they threw in the reconciliation thing at the end. Yes. And it was smart, right? Outside of my friends in politics, I don't know anyone who understands what reconciliation means, right? It sounds like some big, scary thing. How she should respond is to say that they're attacking her for supporting a bill that will cut the cost of prescription drugs, cut healthcare premiums, and put more money in the pockets of consumers.
This ad, I think, sort of summarizes the battlefield of this election, which is Republicans want it to be about, for the broader public, inflation, gas prices, price of food, state of the economy. And Democrats want it to be about Republicans trying to ban abortion, ban gay marriage, ban books, the insurrection. And this is the ad against Catherine Cortez Mastro. She's running against Adam Laxalt, who has called Roe v. Wade a joke, who is a proponent of the big lie. He was Trump's campaign chairman in the state. He is insurrection adjacent, if not an active participant in the effort to overturn the election. I think a good response ad comes right back at the Republicans. Are they trying to fix inflation? No. What are they trying to do? Ban abortion, ban gay marriage, overturn the next election, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Although, you know what, I'm going to quibble with it a little bit.
Quibble.
The Nevada electorate has changed a lot. It has gone way to the right since 2008. I don't think democracy ranks high for voters there. I don't think abortion ranks super highly for voters there. I really do think that the pocketbook issues are going to be more important for the voters of Nevada. If I were Catherine Cortez Mastro, yes, with certain pockets of the population, I would go after, democracy or an abortion. But I would go and say that can I cuss on here? I don't.
Yeah, you can.
Oh yeah.
You think I would invite you, Lis Smith, on a video show where you can't cuss? Okay. That would be playing with fire.
I always have to ask.
Yes.
But look, yes. He's trying to say that she doesn't give a shit about you. She doesn't give a shit about your pocketbook. And I would turn it back around on him and say, no, actually, he doesn't give a shit about you or your pocketbook. All he gives a shit about are the profits of the big health insurance companies. I think back a lot to 2012. And the case that we prosecuted against Romney was, that he was someone who didn't care about regular people. He profited no matter the cost of families, communities. I think I used to know it in my sleep. But we also did talk about him as, out of touch on social issues, that he didn't believe that contraception should be covered. He was out of the mainstream on marriage equality and abortion, but we did that in a more targeted way. The most salient message that, we found in places like Ohio, which I think Nevada is now looking more like that in a different way, but is by prosecuting the economic case.
We know what the Republicans' message is going to be. They're going to hammer that all the way to the end. How we respond to it, I think, is still up for debate, as would be very typical of Democrats. So, Lis, thank you so much for joining us. Everyone go out and buy Liz's book. It's amazing. Any Given Tuesday.
Any Given Tuesday. It's a hell of a ride.
Thanks for watching these ads and videos with us. If you have anything you'd like us to break down next time, please let us know in the comments. Bye, everyone.